Hey coding buddies. So basically in today's GFG POTD we have a problem of transpose of matrix, and it is an easy level of problem. And the problem statement is given us, you are given a square matrix of size n cross n. Your task is to find the transpose of the given matrix. The transpose of matrix is obtained by converting all the rows to columns and all the columns to rows. So basically the given problem here we have a matrix, and that is the basically square matrix, that means having same number of rows and the columns of the elements. And here we have to just simply perform the transpose. Transpose means simply we have to convert our rows elements to column and column element to rows. And if I'm talking about the example one here, so here we have a matrix. We know very well about the matrix. A matrix is, we can say that, a rectangular array that contains the elements or expressions or symbols in the form of rows and columns. So it is called as matrix. Okay, and transpose of matrix, the definition for the transpose of matrix is simply we have to convert our rows matrix to column matrix, and vice versa. That means column to rows are called as transpose of matrix. Okay, so here in, if I'm talking about example one here, so here we have an element like 1 1 1 1 for 4 times in our first row, and for second row we have 2 2 2 2, for third row we have 3 3 3 3, and for fourth row we have 4 4 4 4. Okay, so this all are actually we have rows. Now after performing the transpose operations, we have to convert our rows to columns, so we get the desired output as 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 and 1 2 3 4. Similarly, if I'm talking about the second example here, so here we have 1 2 in my first row and 9 minus 2 in my second row. So after performing the transpose operations, we have 1 9 in our first row and 2 minus 2 is in our second row. And the constant is given is here like our n should be like greater than or equal to 1, and it is must be like less than or equal to 10 to the power 3. And our expected time complexity to solve the given problem is like order of n square, and expected over space is like order of 1. And to solve the given, and it is like origin, make my trip, info h, and Bloomberg. And it is like completely based on matrix and data structure. So let's try to solve the given problem here. So here we already have basically a class, okay, a class with having solution name, and here we have a vector of int transpose. That means here we have to actually here we have a functions that takes the 2D matrix, and now that means this is the given input. Now we have to perform the transpose operations on this given matrix. So what we will do, first of all we have to find the size of the given array. So here we can set int n is equal to mat.size. Okay, mat.size for finding the the total number of length for the given matrix. Once we have like find the length of the given matrix, as we know very well that it is a square matrix, so it is having the same number of rows and columns also, right? Now we have to perform the we have to create another 2D vector that basically stores the final output or final answer after transpose. Okay, so here we have to create a vector of vector and then integer type, and then after that we have to write its name. That means let's say I'm declaring it as answer variable. Then after that we have to provide this size, that means n, as I define the size of an array. Then after that we have to pass each rows which we have to transpose. Okay, so again here we have to pass vector of integer type. Okay, vector of int, and then after that we have to pass again the size of n. Okay, so here we have to say that n. Now once we have done these things, now we have to perform the transpose operation. So here I can write it as here we need to perform the transpose operation. Okay, so how we can do these things? So here we have to just first of all traverse. Okay, for in our first row, so here we can set for int I is equal to 0 and I is like less than n, we have to traverse till last. And similarly for int j, for int j is equal to 0, j is like less than n, and then j plus plus. Okay, then after it we have to simply perform a transpose. That means here we have decided as answer, and here we have to just place it in the side on the location of, like you can set j and I. Okay, then here to just simply pass our matrix. Okay, the input matrix, here we can set whatever is the matrix having the element on the place of I and j. Okay, that means we have to simply convert our, here we actually converting just placing items of rows to column. Okay, once you have done these things, then here we will get our transpose matrix. So here we have to simply return our answer. Then let's try to compile and run. Okay, let's try to compile and run this program here. So yeah, here our comparison is completed and it's executed well. Let's try to submit it. So yeah, it's submitted. So yeah, that's all for today. Thanks for watching.